Hi guys, this is Christian with Cheney's TCG store. I'm here today with my first video to do a market watch on Yugioh. This is my first video, and so the editing won't be great just because I've never done it before, so it's going to be a learning process. But anyways, let's dive into the market watch. The first card that I have for you today is Forbidden Droplet. It's an ultimate rare out of OTS Tournament Pack 16. I'm sure y'all are familiar with what this card does, but it's absolutely busted. And right now you can get a light play for around 190 and a near mint from a verified seller for around 215, 210. I think this is a great pickup, especially if you can, like right here, there's a near mint for 191. I would absolutely suggest picking that up if you can. This card's not going to be here for very long. As soon as this card starts making its way back into main decks pretty consistently, this card's going to shoot up in value. I'd like to compare this to Solemn Strike. I think in a year or two down the road, this card could definitely start going up there with, I think probably between 250 and 300, but I mean, crazier things could happen. But that's what I have to say for Forbidden Droplet. My next card is going to be Book of Lunar Eclipse Starlight out of Lightning Overdrive. This card's not seeing play right now, and I would say it's probably it's one of maybe three of the cheapest Starlights. I'm going to say to pick this card up just because it's about $120, which for a Starlight rare is extremely cheap. But it is a legacy support card, coming out of Book of Moon, and it looks absolutely amazing. And I could definitely see maybe against Flunderies or decks that like to get a lot of monsters on board. If you can use this card, it could definitely shift its way into the meta at some point, just because it does flip two monsters face down. My next card is going to be Tuning, Ultimate Rare out of Star Strike Blast. The reason I'm saying to pick this card up is because we just got Dawn of Majesty with all the Stardust cards, which is kind of like a fan favorite. A lot of people have been picking that up, even including me. And then we also have Synchro Storm right around the corner in October, which is going to bring a lot of support cards to Synchro decks. And this card's really good. It's your Rhoda for Synchros. So I would definitely suggest picking it up. And not only that, it's also out of Star Strike Blast, which if you don't know, never got an unlimited run. And these are really hard to come by. So I would suggest getting one before they run out. I mean, if you can get a play set, that would be ideal, but even just getting one light play or a near mint, I would highly suggest that. But in this case, the near mint's only $3 more than a light play, so I would just go for the near mint. But this card's gorgeous as well. I would definitely pick this up. This card could definitely easily go to 150 to 180 if it's seeing play. For my next card is going to be Dimensional Shifter. This came out of 2019 gold sarcophagus tins. This card basically, when you send it from your hand to the graveyard, it's like a hand trap. Until the end of the next turn, any card sent to the graveyard are banished instead. This card's super powerful. The problem is a lot of decks cannot play it, but there is Flunderies coming out, which actually wants its monsters banished. So they actually benefit from using this card, and this card pretty much will destroy any deck for the most part. There are decks that don't rely on their graveyard, but for the most part, decks do rely on their graveyard, especially in this meta. So I would definitely pick these up, especially since you can get a play set for under $4 each. So I would definitely take a look, or at least keep your eye on this, because as you can see in latest sales, I mean, this is flying off the shelf. These are all from today. Yeah, that's crazy. So definitely keep an eye on that. For my next card, it's going to be Celestial Double Star Shaman. This card came out of Duelist Saga, and you might not be familiar with it, but when this card is Synchro Summon, you can special up to 4 level 2 non-tuner monsters from your hand or graveyard in defense position, but they have their effects negated. Also, you cannot special monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Synchro monsters. So even though that sounds restrictive with only being able to go into Synchro monsters for the rest of the turn, the deck that this works well with, which is primarily Synchro focused, doesn't go into Link or Exceed. So this card is absolutely broken, and it helps you get into Blazar Dragon, which is pretty much Omni Negate. And these are pretty cheap still. They're around $4 each. They bottom out to around $6. And these are selling too, not as fast as like the Dimensional Shifter, but I mean, they are selling. But with Synchro Storm coming out, like I said, if people are looking to play Synchro, this would definitely be a card that they would consider. My next card is going to be Synchro Overtake. It's kind of on the same line of some of the other Synchro stuff I'm going over. This card's busted. It's basically, you can, if you reveal, say, Junk Archer in your hand, you can special summon a Junk Synchron from your deck. So it's, you know, free extender. It helps you, if you have a level 2 in your hand, you can normal set like Doppel Warrior and go right into your Junk Speeder. So it's a great starter card. And I think it's undervalued. I think just because it's not seeing play right now, the price isn't too high. It's around $12. But if people start picking up Synchro with Synchro Storm coming out, this will definitely be a card that people would look at. And I mean, it's already, so you can get this one copy here for 12 and it quickly goes up to 13.50. So I would have a look at this card, or at least keep your eye on it to see what it's doing, but it is selling pretty good over here, as you can see. For my last card today, it's going to be Harpy's Featherstorm. And this is out of Duel Saga. There's a couple other versions, like you can get a super rare and I think a common. But basically in Synchro Storm, we have Leerless support coming out, and it looks to be like it's going to be pretty competitive, maybe not tier 1, but rogue. And basically this card, you can set it, and then on your opponent's turn, as long as you have a win monster, you can activate it, and they can't activate monster effects for the rest of the turn. Also, if you were to make like Harpy's Conductor and keep that on the field, you can activate this from your hand. I don't think you would do that, but I mean, it is an option if you want to. But I would keep an eye on Leerless in general, just because I've played tested the deck, and it seems to be like it could definitely catch you off guard. And we'll just see. It might take the Master Duelist to kind of conquer this deck. But that's it for my market watch today. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you want to do longer market watches, or if you have any suggestions. Like I said, this is my first recording, but thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.